pretty interesting news on Thor: Love and Thunder today. Granted, this did come from an actor interview that I'm interpreting, not Marvel Studios making an announcement, so this could be kind of off. I think I'm guessing right of what she meant by this, but again, just want to say, just this little disclaimer. So this was Natalie Portman who plays Jane Foster, her interview with Yahoo News, and of course they asked about Thor 4 because they're actually going to start filming it pretty soon. She had this to say on the storyline of the movie. She said, "It's based on the graphic novel of the mighty Thor. She's going through cancer treatment and is a superhero on the side." So, of course, we already knew that this movie was going to be about Jane Foster taking on the role of Thor. Um, she came out at Comic Con holding Mjolnir like this, and it was awesome. So yeah, we already knew that was happening. What we didn't know was whether or not the cancer storyline from the comics, which I admittedly have not read that line of comics, but I do know a bit about it, and I'll get to that in a second. So we didn't know whether the cancer storyline was actually going to be in the movie. I know a lot of people have been hoping for it. Taika Waititi, who's directing this movie as well, he also directed the previous Thor movie, was saying he wasn't sure whether it was going to be in the movie or not whenever he was asked about it, but it does sound like it is. I could be wrong, and Natalie just possibly could have been describing the comic and not meaning that that part of the comic is in the movie, but I'm assuming it's going to be, and this rest of this video will assume it's going to be in the movie. So what I know about the cancer storyline in the comic is that Jane Foster has cancer. I believe it's breast cancer, but when she picks up the hammer and becomes Thor, she loses the cancer and she gains all the power of Thor, and she's awesome. She goes out and fights. But when she loses the power of Thor, I think she puts the hammer down or something, or she just doesn't have the powers anymore. Probably puts the hammer down. I think that's how it works. She not only gets the cancer back, it reverts back to its worst stage because all the treatment that she went through to get rid of the cancer is undone. So she can be a superhero and pick up the hammer, but it's going to make herself sicker in the long run. So that's I think that's the main storyline of that comic arc. Yeah. So, of course, a lot of people did want this to be in the movie. I was hoping for it too, but then Chadwick Boseman passed away of colon cancer a couple months ago, sadly. He played Black Panther. I'm sure we all know this. And I was kind of in doubt of whether or not it was going to happen. I was hoping it was going to happen. I was actually hoping even more it would happen now because, again, Chadwick actually did a lot of his MCU content. He did Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame all after his diagnosis. So he was battling cancer while playing a superhero. So he was sort of like a superhero going through cancer. I know it's not the same thing. I shouldn't compare real life to a comic book, but there are the parallels. And I think I'm super happy that it seems like they're doing this storyline still. I think Chadwick Boseman would approve 100%. He would totally be behind this. He was always supportive of kids who were sick, and I'm sure I'm sure he would think this would be super inspirational to them. Of course, he did not. He didn't reveal his diagnosis. It was revealed after he passed away. Um, so he wanted to keep his own struggle private, but I'm sure he'd be all for this, and I'm sure this is going to be handled with the utmost sensitivity. I know Taika Waititi is known for his comedy, but he did Jojo Rabbit last year, and that was a comedy, and that was about Nazis in World War II, and it was handled sensitively. That was the general consensus, and my own. You may disagree. Uh, but yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on all this. I'm super excited for this. I think it's going to be super emotional, and it just with Chadwick's passing, it makes it sadder. I mean, but it makes it all the more important, in my opinion. But I do want to hear if maybe I'm missing a reason why it would be insensitive. Feel free to share that in the comments. Your thoughts on all this. As long as you're respectful, I'll be respectful. We can totally have differing opinions because I know this is again a sensitive topic. But yeah, I want to hear all your thoughts on this. I'm really excited for Love and Thunder. It's one of my most anticipated of the Marvel slate that we know of. So yeah, hopefully I'll be back for another video soon. Take care.